these are exactly contrasting cultures. So if you have to work with these cultures, you will have to change a little bit. Even if the manager is say Chinese and the employee is say American, what the Chinese guy should do if he wants his subordinate to understand, he needs to pinpoint a little bit. Even if he is not used to, because if he wants his work to be done, because how will he know that he is understood or not? He is used to have clear-cut instructions. So this is just through a diagram I am trying to show you that these are contrasting cultures. Anything else? Yes.
Ma'am, being a fan of K-pop and K-dramas and then listening to YouTubers, I had quite an insight on the Korean culture. So there was this YouTuber that was sharing her experience being an American and working in Korea. That in Korea there is a definite gap between the superior and the subordinate. Like if you are there for a meal, the superior would pay. It is compulsory for them, and if the subordinate even offers to pay, then it's considered offensive. So even if the superior does not even touches a drink, he has to pay for all the employees. So she was sharing her embarrassing moment that when she offered to split the bill, so the superior, he got very offended by it. And they also have this culture that drinking is allowed there, so they have their soju drink, which is very much they can drink it, and they are very open about drinking. And another thing was that only other people would start eating when the superior does so. So the superior has to be the first person who will be eating, and the rest would follow. So she was also sharing that she started eating without looking around, and when she saw everyone staring at her, so she felt really bad.
So that's true. Anybody here watches Boston Legal or Suits? No.
Suits.
So Suits is now relatively new. Earlier, whenever I used to watch, these English serials, I used to wonder that Suits also, whenever they are discussing something, then they have a drink in the office. It's always available. So for me also, I was like, wow, man. Everybody is stressed in office, but here, if I have a drink and say, okay, let's discuss that creative now, it cannot be done. So yes, it's the culture, of course. That is what the whole topic for today is, that it's the culture. So when you see those programs, you always feel that yes, it's a contrasting thing. Yes.
I said, for example, if the employer is Chinese and the employee is American, then the Chinese should be
The employer is
Chinese.
okay. That is the boss. Boss is
The boss
Chinese.
is Chinese and the employee is American. As is giving the example. So I was wondering who should adopt to whom?
See, actually, both should adopt, because both want to give their best to the job.
Yes.
So if I am a Chinese, I would at least whatever, I cannot pinpoint everything. If not 10, I should pinpoint at least 5 steps.
Yeah, I'll give you a very good example for this. Like, let's look at Google. Okay, now, Google is an out-and-out American one. Okay, the culture is pretty much American. But when you see the employees working over there, they are multinational. Okay, so what has Google done? I was seeing a program on Google the other day. So what have they done? They have created some cafeterias. Okay, so if I'm an Indian guy, there is an Indian cafeteria to go to, where I'll get your aloo ka parantha with dahi and dal makhani and biryani and everything. The chef over there is Indian. The decor they have is Indian. They play Indian music and everything. For that guy to feel, yeah, I'm close to my culture. But yeah, when it comes to work ethics, the work ethics will be as per American culture. So when it basically belongs to where the parent company is. Okay, so that wherever the parent company is, the culture will be affected from there itself. So if you're saying it's a Chinese employer, that means the company is based out of China. And if this guy is working in a Chinese company in America, the culture will be a mix of China and America. But if an American guy has gone to China to work in a Chinese company, the culture will be Chinese. And this guy will have to adapt to as in the example she shared about a girl going to Korea and working with, she was okay with the Dutch culture, and if the food is being served, you have to eat it. So she had no clue about how the Koreans do, and it was embarrassing for her. Okay. In the same case, if the Korean guy had come to America, then he shouldn't have been offended if they said let's Dutch kar do. You getting it?
We move forward. Anybody would like to share something? Yes.
Sorry, ma'am.
No.
Ma'am, like again we have this thing like India, we don't usually use fork and a knife, and they are using a fork and a knife.
But now even in India, I've seen people eating tandoori chicken with a fork. People not anything else. Tandoori chicken and dosa also I've seen.
Dosa,
in India.
yeah.
So it's changing.
Yeah.
All the Fauji kids, how they eat their chapati, they roll the chapati separately, eat it like this, like a wrap, and then they eat the vegetable. Even when they come to our place for dinner. So it's again a culture thing how they are used to of eating. Some people when they see the sizzler for the first time, they're like, wow, it's so nikal raha hai. So it depends. Everything is changing. Like I told you, even in India, we have different cultures depending on our exposure, our company where we are working, our family, our upbringing, our lifestyle.
And my parents.
When I was in school, first time I heard this. There's I don't know if still is Hong Kong restaurant still there. They first time it became a big deal that they have chopsticks. They have chopsticks. So it was like a big competition who will eat with chopsticks. I never went for the competition though. So I'm saying, so it depends. Even in Bhopal at that time, when I was in school, that was quite some time back. Depends. Things are changing and they'll keep on changing. Yes, you want to add something?
Yes, ma'am. My parents went to a Delhi restaurant, and what they saw was that there was some foreigner couple who came over there, and they were served the thali system of India. So they had roti and a sabji over there. So what they did, they turned the roti with the knife and fork, and they ate the roti, and then they used the spoon to drink the sabji. It was funny.
And many of the Americans, they eat with hands. In detail, we used to have a guest house. So whenever we had visitors, we used to, whoever was hosting the visitor, we used to write a mail to the guest house that this is the nationality he's coming from, and you're supposed to make 1 or 2 dishes from his thing also. Many a times, and we used to accompany them for lunch to this corporate guest house. We used to have those fancy dishes. He'll cook up some pasta or something, and they will have typical Indian meal because they liked it. So depends. Many times I've seen that they did not even touch those food, the other thing which was prepared for them, and they used to have our table. So again, it depends. Something very simple, just an example of saying what we say and what we perceive. Now in America, when we say yes, it means yes, I agree with you and I will do it. Okay? Here if we say yes, it's like I have heard you. If possible and if my boss permits and if I have time and if there's a culture of this and the policy agrees with it, I will do it. Otherwise it's like, because it's very rude to say no and it's better to say yes. You agree or not? We do this all the time. Yes.
And we don't outrightly disagree. We
Yes,
say dekhte hain.
exactly. Okay,
Not
so
no
here
on the
yes
face.
does not always mean yes.
Yes.
It means a lot many things other than yes, I will do it.
Actually, here saying no also is very different because in America you don't say no, you say sorry instead of no. Because it shows that if you say no, it means you're taking it as an offense. When you're saying sorry, it means I'm sorry.
Sorry, I will not be able to do it. But you can say no, but yes, it is preceded by
Preceded.
sorry.
Sorry.
I'm afraid not.
That is the safest word to use. Dekhte hain.
Again, maybe for American it is, if it's possible, I will do it, I might do it, there is a possibility. Here maybe is generally no. हमें नहीं बोलना है तो we'll say maybe.
And
Will you
dekhte
come for
hain
the
is also
party?
no actually.
Yes. So here it's like, yeah, I'm just, it's a light example of showing what we say. Okay. Again we'll say yes.
And Indian mothers use it very
Yes.
frequently.
Can I go later tonight? Maybe. We'll see. I got the big tip. Yes. Okay. So here even for corporates, it's like we'll say, हाँ सर देखते हैं, ad release होगा, मालूम है ad रात भर में नहीं release होगा, we'll see. ठीक है sir, it depends. Again because we don't feel very safe or saying no to our superiors or to somebody in the other department or something.
Ma'am, for Indian mothers, it's like no is also not, dekhte is also not. As soon as they say na, पापा से पूछ के बताती हूँ, you should consider it's a no. So there
Depends on how good you are with your father. Whether, you'll approach him directly and get permission quickly. So depends. Okay. For them again, no means typically no. No here can be I'll try, I can't do it, like vaguely bol diya, या फिर an absence of yes is also no. I'm non-committal. Will you do it? I'm not saying only much. So it is like, okay. So that was just a light example of saying how we perceive and what we say. Now comes non-verbal, which a lot of you touched upon. Somebody talked about smile, somebody talked about eye contact. All of you already mentioned. So it is as it is a part of the presentation. Now we talk about non-verbal clues. Everybody understands what's non-verbal, which is not spoken. So non-verbal expressions are also perceived differently by different cultures. Now somebody already mentioned a very common example is smile. Okay, in America it is they smile at everybody, even if the office person doesn't know you, he'll smile at you and all. What about India? What do you think? At times the other person is like surprised why she's smiling and she'll ask the other lady, "Isko jante hain kya? Who is she?" You know, I do it out of politeness, but generally if you ask me, largely Indian culture is we smile. We don't smile at strangers. We smile at people we know. We talk to people we know. For example, say these four are more friendly and a new student comes. Maybe they say hi, but then they four will discuss. Acha, what is the plan? Acha, what is happening? Yes. Now, smile is also considered offensive in some countries. Okay, like Russia, they find it a little rude to smile. They find it impolite to smile at somebody. It's like that. Okay. In Scandinavia, they feel that you're very weak. Why are you showing emotions? So something as simple as smile, which is like a universal thing now, it is perceived differently. Somebody else also was talking about smile earlier. So it's like this, okay? Scandinavians feel why you need to show emotion. You don't need to show emotion. So again, it depends. Then comes your hand and arm gesture, something like this, thumbs up or okay. It is considered offensive in say Iran. They don't like it. For them, for somebody, this is like just a zero. It does not mean anything. It does not mean okay at all. For us, because हमारा इतना American interaction है through TV and through companies and everything, that we yes.
In Italy, this is considered an abuse, whereas in India we call this "I want to eat." So what's the joke on this?
And there's something like you beckon somebody, and in Korea you beckon only and only animals like this. There was a very cute video also the other day on it. So it's again.
Calling like this is also.
Yes. So again, these are some of the differences. Physical space, especially you had seen that movie Airlift. Akshay Kumar was Airlift only. He was what in Istanbul or something. Did you see how they greeted each other, always close, hugging, kissing, males also? So in Arab cultures they stand very close to each other. The physical distance is very less, and for American it is a little more. Okay. So again, if it's contrasting, if there's a meeting in say an Arab country and American stands too far, they will feel that he's not interested. Why is he so aloof? And for him, it's like, my God, is he trying to threaten me or what is he implying?
Like in India, you
Okay.
know, also,
Yes.
even the physical space, you maybe do a half hug and shake hands and everything, but you won't kiss on the cheeks. Okay? In US, it's okay if it's a person of the opposite sex, you kiss on the cheeks. Okay? But kissing someone of the same sex on the opposite cheeks is considered very offensive. Whereas
In
in
Arab,
Middle
same
East,
sex also,
Middle East, for opposite sex, you won't do that. You cannot do that. Okay? For the same sex, especially for the guys, it's okay. Okay? For the females,
which
you cannot do
we
it.
find as little strange. A very good example of this, we adapting all the film movie stars and award functions. Karan Johar will kiss the lady and whoever, Shabana Azmi will kiss the other person. For them, because they have, got into that culture. And even among, normal people who are not celebrities, the high classes now they've started greeting each other like this. If you see, all the ladies, those high flying ladies, I've seen the culture. If you go to Delhi or someplace, they will hug you and kiss in the air. So we are adapting, but generally it's not a part of our culture.
I think a very good example of verbal this thing was the AIB roast that had happened. Well, it was a comedy act which is very common around the world, where you make fun of each other on the stage and everybody enjoys it. But here it was taken as such a huge offense that, and the people involved didn't have a problem with each other doing it, but other people.
The entire public. Yes.
Exactly. So they tried to bring in an American concept and it was backfired. So that was a really.
There was another reality show based on criticizing the other person that was also adapted from some American. That also didn't work well.
The
Hindi show, but you were supposed to.
It was actually a roast, so that the one that replaced Comedy Nights with Kapil, Comedy Nights Bachao. That actually was supposed to be a roast, but now they have adapted it to a more.
I'm talking about some other program, but
That was also the same.
I don't remember that. That didn't pick up here because nobody likes, being bitched about publicly. Sach ka samna. Sach ka samna, if you heard, no.
Yes.
So it didn't pick up. Okay?
Sach ka samna is more of that explicit and implicit kind of thing. Okay. In US, it's okay, explicit culture. So you're telling about certain things. People are like, okay, what's the big deal? In India, everything is a big deal. So, like,
people who are
you
not
participated in, that means socially you were totally outcasted. और इसलिए ऐसा किया था. करा सबने होगा. But for the reason that you went on national television and told it to the world, that means you are a social.
Touching, I think we've already covered. Now, for example, handshake, it is generally a global gesture now. Okay, and rest we've already discussed. Eye contact, one of you was mentioning something. Eye contact, yes, in America it is considered good, you should maintain eye contact. Here also to a large extent we follow that we should maintain eye contact because lack of eye contact shows two things. One is lack of interest and second is distrust. क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ भी वो कहावत है ना, सच बोल रहा है तो मेरी आँखों में आँखें देख के बोल. So that means you're lying, you're trying to hide something. Typical ad या कहीं पे देखोगे if the kid is lying to the father तो he'll look down and पापा ऐसा हो गया or something like that. So we relate it to that. But in Arab culture or something, or to look at somebody constantly, it is considered rude and offensive to maintain eye contact for a longer duration. So again, it depends. Generally in Arab cultures, they don't maintain eye contact much, which you understand because it's a regressive society. So
Ma'am, I have an example of touching. I just clicked my mind. There was this serial Outsourced in Comedy Central.
Yes.
So there's this character of Madhuri. She's a very
Yeah.
reserved Indian girl.
Very nice.
And there was this case where the manager, to encourage her, he touched her shoulder and she actually filed a case of sexual harassment against him.
Yes.
And towards the end of the serial, he suspects everybody in that office and finally knows about that Madhuri, she considered that offensive. So he apologized to her.
Correct. That's a very nice book. See, even like I was telling you about industries, different industries are different cultures. Since I was taking care of Popcorn, I used to interact all the time with ad agencies. Now they have a very cool culture. So even when I was in Bajaj Tempo, I used to, must be knowing also Percept. It's a very big brand. So Percept was a PR agency. Now Percept had a very, very different culture than ours. So when they used to come, their entire 8 people used to come for a meeting. So they used to pat our bags and all. So the other office people were like, oh my god, marketing people, I don't know. So for them, Bajaj Tempo had a different culture and Percept had a different culture. Because though it's in India, it's a Bombay company. But since it's an ad company, they have a very, very open culture. So again, within India also, depending on the industry you are, the culture will vary. Anything else? Okay, now this a lot of people were mentioning. There's something called power distance. Yes, a lot of you were mentioning. What is power distance? You didn't use the term per se, but yes. Power distance is nothing but the gap between somebody on the higher level in the hierarchy to the lower level in the hierarchy. So some countries will be having high power distance. For example, all of Asia. Okay? All of Asia, like India also has a high power culture. India, all of these countries, China, Japan, they have high power culture. And low power culture is where the line is diminished. There is not much difference between a senior manager and a lower level executive. So basically what power culture is how well aware the junior level is of the inequality within the organization. A high power culture company will have a lot of inequality. Okay, and a low power culture company or a country will have less inequality. Okay, there the juniors will be very open to share their views with the higher up people. They'll be very open to disagree, to show disagreement. Okay, and in a high power culture, no. A junior will know his boundaries. He will not speak much and other things. Getting it? So that's the difference between a high power and a low power culture. Okay. A very good example. Let's look at an example. Say promotion. Now in India, if I feel there's a subordinate and he feels that I deserve a promotion, he won't say much. He won't be explicit about it. Again, now explicit, implicit also comes here. And as it is because there's a power distance. Okay. So he will feel that if my boss really wanted to give me a promotion, he would have given himself. Okay. As opposed to say America. If an employee feels I deserve a promotion, I did very well, I achieved all my targets, he will confront his boss. He will ask for it. He will explicitly ask for it. He will say that I deserve a promotion and I need to be promoted. So that's the difference. Okay. Take another example between say Korea and America. Okay. Now once what happened is a Korean conglomerate went to their American counterpart. Okay. So when they went, there was somebody to receive them with a full itinerary printed that okay, this time itinerary. And also, to be nice to them, the Americans had printed a list of restaurants near their hotel. But the Koreans were not very happy. They didn't like it. They felt that we were not taken care of. Why? Because a few months back, the American division of their company had gone to Korea. There what happened is, Korean people, what they did is, they came personally to receive them. Okay? They took them personally to the hotel. Whatever free time they had, they spent it with them. They invited them over or they went with them to see the places. How you do when we have American clients from to our office, clients not, our own counterparts, we keep one day, if they are coming for a week-long trip, we used to in detail, we used to keep one day for showing them around the city. We take them places, 2-3 people from HR, one from Marcom, 4-5 people will go there. So they are used to have a lot of personal interaction. And these people they are like, okay, let's be on our own. So that's the difference. Okay. This we already discussed. You've understood what is power distance? So it's basically the distance between hierarchies. How strictly the hierarchy is followed and implied and understood in the organization. Time culture. For example, to give you an example, in Japan, when they say on time for trains, you know what is the margin they keep? They keep it of less than 1 minute. Now compare it to India. So I don't even need to mention. Even for other countries, they generally on time means less than this thing of 15 minutes. But for Japan, it's less than a minute. So these things, matter. Okay. We take various examples. In rigid time cultures, time is for them is a commodity. If they save time on one activity, they will devote that time to some other activity. Time is a major focus because they always have something or the other to do. In a fluid time culture, time is organic. Okay, it depends on how urgent it is. If it's urgent, everybody has time. Yes, I'm coming for the meeting. If it's not urgent, it's like okay. Here, meetings are always expected to begin on time. In our, because we are also a fluid time culture, it depends on how many people are ready. Boss, so I need a meeting to 10 baje. When he comes to office, then I will take it. Now again, I would like to pinpoint. Yes, India is. If you ask me, India pinpoint that it's a fluid time culture. But then it again depends. For example, when I was in TTL, because it was an MNC, we used to have a lot of con calls. So that does not mean that because I am in India and it's a fluid time culture, I will go late for the con call. Since it's a con call and people from everywhere are joining the con call, we will be on time. So please, I am sure after this session, you won't think that India is into this only. Every country is changing. Like India also, we have all kinds of culture depending on the organization. But yes, if it's a meeting in Pune only in our office, then it's like it was at 10, but I can't see his car only, so it will be at 11. And things like that. Yes.
Ma'am, like in metro cities, especially in India, when the floods are, like the situation of Delhi right now, the roads are flooded badly, so people are getting too late in reaching the office, even though they start home early before 2 hours or something like that. So still they have this mindset and then that ठीक है लेट भी पहुंच जाएंगे तो कुछ नहीं होगा, सबको तो रीजन पता ही है. But मैम there in these rigid time cultures it is like no, whatever it is there you have to.
Yes, but I would really pinpoint one thing here. Again, in this also, every city has a different culture. Bombay is a very, very work-focused culture. They will show on news that it is flooding and all that. I have a lot of friends there, so I used to call them earlier. They are showing red alert. Okay, I am in office. I am working. Bombay, no matter what kind of, either it's a natural calamity or whatever happens, people are highly professional. They will come on time. Delhi people will take it up as an excuse. Even if it's the road outside his house is fine, he'll say it is flooding. I cannot come. So every city also has a little culture. Like Bombay people are way more professional. Even in my company, I used to travel to Fountain a lot. Our other office, corporate office was in Bombay also. Even in the same company, in the same country, Pune and Bombay had a different culture. Bombay, I'll give you a classic example. We used to book a driver whenever we needed a car for official reasons. We used to put a mail to admin and we used to get it. But like if you travel to Delhi, if I'm traveling to Delhi, the procedure is the same. You have to write a mail to admin that this is the reason and I need. उसके बाद भी when they send you the driver's number, you have to call him. भैया प्लीज आ जाना, एजेंसी जाना है, भैया प्लीज आ जाना, आज शूट है. बॉम्बे again if you're traveling to Bombay and you are supposed to go to the agency, the driver का number दिया हुआ, he will be there on time. You don't need to plead him to come कि भैया जी और you. He'll say आपका नाम पे दिया हुआ है, मैं इतने बजे आ रहा हूँ. So within cities also because Bombay and Delhi have very different cultures even when you're working for the same organization. Leave apart the agencies and everything, that's of course different. The same company I'm talking about from my own experience. Yes, we are fluid, but then your this thing got the answer. So it depends on the city also. Yes, you want to say something?
I just want to ask, what do you think what measure should be adopted when we talk about our Bhopal city to become rigid time culture?
What measure should be adopted? You answer that. I don't think any measure can be.
See, how do you think when you ask such kind of question, how do you think culture gets established?
By practicing, I mean, we have to be more
It
punctual.
takes years and years to establish one culture. Okay, so when we talk about a Bhopali culture, okay, or we talk about Patiyabaji, okay, what is Patiyabaji? You don't know what Patiyabaji is? Basically, if you go to VIP roadside and all, you see people sitting on patiyas, those are your benches and all. Yeah, and they're talking about discussing politics even late at night and whatever they're discussing. That's called Patiyabaji. Okay, so when you move to New Bhopal, you won't find that. It's a pretty much an old Bhopal culture. Okay, so that has happened over ages. You know, that culture has been established, and over the years you'll see cultural changing a little bit. Okay, so this is something consciously maybe you cannot do it, and as individually you cannot do it. It just happens. Okay, maybe a lot of people, expats moving back to Bhopal, they're bringing about a change. For that matter, when we started with corporate trainings, you know, 90% of our trainings were in Hindi, and we had actually difficult speaking like proper pure Hindi kind of stuff. ठीक है, तो हमको सीखना पड़ा कि हाँ यार इसको शब्द को ये हिंदी में ये
Though we are Hindi speaking, I mean सरकारी में जो use होती है, we used to make PPTs in Hindi.
That was completely different. But now we are saying is that yeah, in Bhopal people are accepting English.
Frankly, I would like to say time. We were given a time of 10. We came at 9:40. I was the first one here before the students came. So it also depends on what kind of organization you are working, what is your work ethic. A trainer will not come late to a training.
You mean it differs from person to person?
Yes, it does. It does, but in general, if you ask Westerners about Indian, they will say, or even we joke amongst ourselves that Indian standard time pe aa gaye.
See, I'll tell you. See, in this case, personally, this was a value system. We are uncomfortable coming late. So we came on time. But when it came to expecting about you guys, we were like, ठीक है, 10:15 तक भी आएंगे तो चलेगा. Are you getting it? Because we understand that's an Indian culture. But again, as I said, in Bombay, we would expect people will be right dot on time.
Yes. Yes. And then
Ma'am, I saw something in the newspaper recently. There was an image of a Japanese person who was lying on his bike and he was actually taking a nap. And the thing that came in the news was that कि वहाँ पे लोग सोते नहीं है, बस naps चलते रहते हैं, because they are, the rigid time culture is over there. And also the other thing that I have observed is that though they are very much like religious and this high
Superstitious.
I mean this religion and this culture is more on our Asia than the European countries. So even though they are having this much impact of their religion, they follow that much and all the cultures they have. I mean, they are too much stuck up to that, but still, Japan is one of the most developed countries till now. So this rigid time cultures and what they already have within them of considering religion and their cultures, I mean, they are able to cope up so well with all these things that they are the leading most country in the world.
What are you trying to say?
Ma'am, what I meant that, like, if we compare America and Japan, like, there are too many atheists coming up nowadays. Atheists have to say that we will not concentrate. Some of the atheists say we will not concentrate on this religion and all these things. We are like just doing work and all these kinds of things, and then they think they are the developed ones. But the other side is also like that. See Japan, which is the most developed country.
Yes.
They are religious, and how they manage all the things.
In addition to her point that in countries like China, Japan and Korea, they have this work culture. But like in India and America, if you see an employee sleeping on the job, you consider that he is lazy. But in Korea or Japan, I can particularly pinpoint Korea, if a person is sleeping on the job, that means that he had worked hard enough
And he's taking
rest. So it's not considered bad.
Yes. Yes.
Actually, as I was saying that cultures get established over time, right? So they must have had some utility at some point of time, so it just continues on. And I just wanted to ask you, what utility or advantage do you think fluid time cultures have?
See, fluid time cultures I feel are very accommodating. Suppose I am very rigid that I will start the meeting at 10 and I am a marketing person and I want to release an ad. I need the purchase, okay? I need the finance and I need the HR. Now if I am very rigid that no, I will start the meeting at 10 and the HR is only, or say purchase has only not come, who will sign my PO? How will I know my budget is approved? So they are more accommodating in that sense, you
Regarding
can
your
say.
question, how does fluid time set in? Okay, now if you have too much time on your hand and you don't value time, then fluid time. Why do people in Bombay or in Bangalore, they have more rigid time as compared to other cities? Because for them time is a constraint. Getting so when time starts becoming a constraint, automatically you will see cultures moving from fluid to rigid. So larger cities you go to, people will be more maybe concerned about time. Smaller cities they'll be like, 10 घंटे यार बहुत टाइम है यार, करने को क्या है, तो आराम से पहुंचेंगे, आराम से करेंगे. They're getting it. Also basically the thing is set in because how much you value time will result into how much you're going to be strict about it.
Simple example is in big cities you don't know your neighbors because nobody has time. You eat in the lift, you just acknowledge
Even
that.
passion matters. Even if the work you are doing,
Yes.
if you have a definite passion about it, you will be on time. If you're not interested,
you are not
you
bothered,
are
yes.
interested in it, you will not be on time.
I don't agree with this point though, because there might be, though I do know few people who are very passionate about their work, but when it comes to time, they are not so.
There can be exceptions in that.
So it's not necessary.
See, everything will have exceptions. Like I'm telling you, say suppose fluid culture, fluid time. There are many Indians who are punctual. I mean, I'm a very, very punctual person if you ask me. Even for a wedding, earlier we used to go on time what is printed on the card. Now I know that nobody will be there, so mentally I tell myself whatever is written, varna late. My father was like that, 8 baje likha hai, so get ready 8 o'clock. By the time people start coming, we didn't meet anybody, we came back. Because we came at 8, so we are going back at 9. So everything is like relative, but this is talking about a majority, how we are perceived by Westerners or the other cultures.